Okay, so you're here because you want to, cut through the noise and get straight to what matters.
Yeah, you want knowledge, and you want it efficiently.
Exactly. And today, we're diving deep into a specific strategy, rapid body recomposition. Maybe you have a deadline coming up, a wedding, presentation.
Something where you want to look and feel your absolute best, and, well, time's ticking, right?
Precisely.
So we've been looking into this YouTube video. It's by Dr. Mike Diamonds. He's a medical doctor, but also a pro-natural bodybuilder.
Oh, interesting background.
Yeah, and the video title is pretty clear. If I only had 3 weeks to get shredded, this is what I'd do.
Doesn't leave much room for interpretation, does it? It sounds like a very direct, no-frills approach.
It really is. He calls it his break glass in case of emergency plan.
Okay.
He even mentions helping an actor, Daniel Thrasher, get ready for a shirtless scene in just a few weeks. Apparently the guy lost like 8 pounds.
Wow, okay. So our mission today is basically to pull out the key principles, the actionable stuff, from this intense 3-week plan he lays out.
That's the goal. But, and this is really important, we need to stress what Dr. Mike stresses. This is not meant to be a long-term thing.
Right, more like a targeted sprint, yeah.
Exactly. Think focused sprint, not a sustainable health marathon. It's for a very specific, short-term goal.
Understood. Okay, let's get into it then. Step 1. And he calls this the hardest one.
Incorporating a weekly 24-hour fast once a week for the next 3 weeks.
Okay, 24 hours. How does that work practically? Like, when do you start and stop?
His advice is pretty straightforward. Say, finish your last meal at 8 p.m. on Sunday.
Okay.
Then you just don't eat again until 8 p.m. on Monday.
So you're sleeping through a good chunk of it. That probably helps.
Yeah, he points that out. Makes it a bit easier psychologically and just, practically.
And the reason behind it? I assume it's about creating a massive calorie gap.
Pretty much. It's about creating a really significant caloric deficit. He mentions that 3,500 calories is roughly equivalent to a pound of fat.
Right. That's the standard number.
So by basically cutting calories to 0 for a whole day, you're forcing your body to tap into stored energy. It's a big initial push.
A metabolic shock, almost.
Kind of, yeah. A way to create a large energy gap quickly. But he also talks about other potential benefits beyond just the calories.
Like what?
Well, things like improving insulin levels and insulin sensitivity. How well your body uses insulin to manage blood sugar. Better sensitivity is generally good for fat loss.
Okay, that makes sense. What else?
He mentions autophagy. That's like your body's cellular cleanup process. Repairing and recycling old cell parts. It's linked to anti-aging ideas and disease prevention.
Right, I've heard of that.
And also a potential boost in growth hormone, which impacts the metabolism, helps maintain muscle, and aids fat burning.
So it's not just about the deficit, even though that's the main driver.
Exactly. He connects it to potentially reducing inflammation, maybe improving blood pressure, cholesterol, those sorts of health markers. And even brain function, he brings up BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor. A sharper mind probably helps you stick to the plan too, right?
Definitely helps with focus. He mentioned gut health too.
Yeah, suggests it might positively influence your gut microbiota, the bacteria in your gut, and strengthen the gut lining. Though he does add that the research there is still evolving and results can vary.
And he saw results with clients, like increased mental clarity.
He shared an anecdote about a client named Montino feeling sharper and more productive after the fasts.
It's a lot to pack into one day of fasting. But again, short-term plan.
Crucial point. One part of a very aggressive short-term plan. Long-term effects of doing this regularly. That's a different conversation.
Okay, got it. Let's move to step 2. Also labeled as one of the hardest. This is the aggressive caloric deficit itself.
Right. And the absolute first thing he hammers home here is tracking. You have to track your food intake.
Makes sense. You can't manage what you don't measure.
Exactly. He calls it the surefire way to know your calories in. He even mentions some Duke University research where people lost weight just by tracking, even without specific targets.
Just the awareness factor.
Yeah, it's powerful. Then comes a suggestion that might make some people pause.
Oh, what's that?
Eating the exact same food every single day for all 21 days.
Whoa, okay. That sounds incredibly boring.
It does sound super restrictive, but his logic is about reducing variables, makes results more predictable. No wondering if that meal threw you off.
And less decision fatigue, I guess.
That's his argument. No figuring out meals constantly. He gives his own examples. Pumpkin, reduced carb wraps, protein ice cream. Same thing, day in, day out.
Does he mention anything about food labels being inaccurate? I've heard that can be an issue.
It does. Brings up the FDA allowing a plus minus 20% margin of error.
20%, that's huge.
It really is. So his point is, by eating the same stuff, even if the label's a bit off, it's consistently off, you minimize that variable over the 3 weeks.
Okay, that makes a certain kind of sense for a short, intense period. So how do you figure out this aggressive deficit?
He talks about using tools like AI or online calculators. He mentions a specific site, but notes no affiliation.
Any quick estimates?
Yeah. A rough guide he gives is body weight in pounds times 14 for maintenance calories. So a 200-pound person, maybe around 2,800 calories maintenance.
Okay, and the aggressive deficit, not the usual 500 calories off.
Nope. For this 3-week blitz, he suggests a 750-calorie deficit.
So for that 200-pound person, 2,800 minus 750, that's 2,050 calories a day.
Exactly. And he's up front that this can feel rough initially. You know, weakness, hunger, maybe workouts suffer a bit at first.
Expected with that kind of cut. What about macros? Protein, carbs, fat.
This is key. Super high protein. He recommends 1.3 grams of protein per pound of body weight.
1.3 grams per pound. So for our 200-pound example, that's 260 grams of protein.
A lot, right. The reasons are satiety protein keeps you feeling fuller.
Definitely.
Muscle preservation, crucial when cutting calories this hard.
You don't want to lose muscle yet.
Yeah. And the thermic effect of food. Your body actually burns more calories digesting protein compared to fats or carbs.
So it helps the deficit indirectly too.
Exactly. But he adds a caution. This super high protein might not be for everyone. People with kidney, liver, or certain gut issues should probably avoid this protocol.
Good disclaimer. Okay, so 260-gram protein. What about fat?
Aim for about 20% of total calories from fat. In the 2050 calorie example, that's around 410 calories, which is, let me see, about 45, 46 grams of fat.
Okay, and carbs get whatever's left.
Yep, the remainder. In this case, it's roughly 600 calories or 150 grams of carbs. So it ends up being a relatively lower carb approach.
So for that 200-pound person, 2050 calories, 260-gram protein, 150-gram carbs, about 46 G fat. That's specific.
Very. And he gives practical examples to hit that protein, like 2 scoops of whey, 6-ounce chicken breast, 8-ounce steak, 10-ounce white fish each is roughly 50 grams of protein. So you can see how you did structure meals to get there.
Makes it seem more achievable when broken down. Does he suggest apps for tracking this?
Yeah. Mentions the usual suspects, MyFitnessPal, Lose It. Also, MacroFactor, which is Jeff Nippard's app, says it might even calculate the macros for you.
Oh, handy. Might need a subscription, though.
Potentially, yeah. He notes there might be a fee after a trial. Something to check.
Okay. And does the calorie target stay the same for all 3 weeks?
No, he adjusts it down. Week 1 is the 2050 example. Week 2, drop it by 150 calories to 1,900.
Okay.
And week 3, drop another 150 down to 1,750.
Why the drop?
To keep the fat loss going as your body starts adapting to the lower intake. Prevents plateaus within that short time frame.
Makes sense. Keep pushing the deficit. All right, that's a lot on the food side. What's step 3?
Step 3 shifts to the other side of the equation. Aggressive expenditure. Calories out.
Okay, how aggressive are we talking?
The overall aim is contributing to burning roughly 3,500 calories per day through activity.
Whoa, how?
It's a combo. First, what he calls informal cardio, hitting 15,000 steps daily.
15,000? That's quite a jump for most people.
It is. But he suggests a strategy. Maybe 6,000 steps in the morning, like an hour's walk, another 6,000 in the evening, maybe after work.
Okay, that breaks it down. And the last 3,000?
He figures that'll likely just happen through your normal day-to-day movement, getting up, walking around the office or house, etc.
Manageable if you plan it.
Right.
What else besides steps?
Then there's formal cardio to really push the fat loss.
Like gym sessions.
Exactly. He recommends 5 cardio sessions a week, starting at 20 minutes each in week 1.
Okay.
Then bumping it up to 30 minutes in week 2, and up again to 45 minutes in week 3.
Getting progressively longer. What kind of cardio?
He suggests machines like the Stairmaster, elliptical, or an inclined treadmill, things that can get your heart rate up.
And is there a target intensity?
Yes, aim for a heart rate around 140 beats per minute. That's generally zone 2.
The quote-unquote fat burning zone.
That's the common term, yeah. Where your body tends to use more fat for fuel. He even gives specific settings as examples.
Yeah.
Treadmill, a warm-up, then max incline, speed around 3 miles per hour. Stairmaster. That's starting at level 10, but adjust for your own fitness, obviously.
So the goal is work hard, get sweaty, burn calories in those sessions.
Pretty much. Maximize the burn within that time. But crucially,
Yes.
he stresses you must do resistance training too, 5 times a week.
Ah, to keep the muscle while losing fat.
Exactly. He's very blunt. Without it, you risk just looking weak and flat, even if you lose weight. You need the weights to signal your body to hold on to muscle during that deficit.
Makes total sense. Don't want to lose the shape.
Yeah.
Okay, step 4.
Step 4 brings in things that are easy to overlook but vital. Sleep and stress management.
Ah, the unsung heroes.
Totally. He emphasizes these are critical for making the whole plan even remotely sustainable for the 3 weeks and avoiding burnout, crazy hunger, or just feeling exhausted.
So what's the target for sleep?
Aim for a solid 7 hours a night. And he gives practical tips to improve sleep quality.
Like the standard sleep hygiene stuff.
Yeah, pretty much. Make the room pitch black. Keep it cool, like 60-65 Fahrenheit, which is around 18 Celsius.
Cool room, got it.
Cut off caffeine at least 10 hours before bed. Last meal about 3 hours before.
Okay, timing matters.
Reduce liquids couple of hours before bed. Less chance of waking up needing the bathroom, which disrupts sleep cycles and hormones.
Good point. That middle of the night trip is annoying.
And the big one, no devices, no blue light for at least an hour before bed. Let that melatonin production happen naturally.
Standard advice,
Yeah.
but probably extra important when you're pushing your body this hard.
Definitely. He makes a great point that sometimes just fixing sleep can have a huge impact on weight loss, maybe even more than tweaking calories for some people, because it affects hunger hormones and willpower.
True. And stress. The diet and exercise alone sound stressful.
Exactly. He acknowledges the plan itself adds stress, so you need to actively manage it.
Okay.
Simple things first. Gratitude journaling, going for relaxing walks, basic stuff.
Okay. Anything more structured?
He recommends a more focused approach, too. 10 minutes of daily meditation. Suggests using an app like Calm, mentioning a specific beginner guide by Jeff Warren.
Meditation to counteract the physical stress.
Yeah, and the mental stress. High stress often leads to stress eating, right? Which would obviously sabotage the whole plan.
Absolutely. Okay. Sleep and stress managed. What's the final step?
Step 5 is supplementation.
Ah, the supplements.
Mm-hmm.
Does he rely heavily on them?
He actually says he doesn't usually focus that much on supplements, but for a plan this aggressive, they can offer some support.
Makes sense. What does he recommend?
First, just a basic multivitamin.
Why?
Mainly because the deep calorie deficit and potentially eating the same limited foods could lead to some nutrient gaps. So it's a bit of insurance.
Okay. Covering bases. What else?
Caffeine. He calls it a potent aid for fat loss.
How so?
Primarily as an appetite suppressant. Helps manage the hunger from the deficit. Plus, it boosts performance.
Right, like pre-workout.
Exactly. He mentioned the typical 300 milligram dose found in many pre-workouts can improve physical output, cardiovascular performance during exercise.
How does he suggest taking it? Coffee? Pills?
Both are options. Black coffee is fine. He even suggests non-nutritive sweeteners or sparkling water are okay if needed. Or a pre-workout supplement.
Any timing advice?
Morning coffee maybe an hour after waking up, not immediately. And a general caution not to overdo it. Max maybe 1 coffee plus a pre-workout, or just 2 coffees total.
And probably not for everyone.
Definitely not. If you're sensitive to caffeine or have heart conditions, this isn't for you. Standard warnings apply.
Good. What else is on the supplement list?
Creatine. Specifically creatine monohydrate. 5 grams a day.
What's the thinking behind creatine for fat loss?
It's mainly about performance and muscle preservation. It helps draw water into muscles, which can help maintain strength and power during workouts, even in a deficit. Helps signal the body to keep that muscle tissue.
Okay, so supporting the resistance training aspect. Anything else?
Last one he mentions is yohimbine HCl.
Yohimbine. I've heard mixed things about that one.
Yeah, he flags that too. The idea is it might help mobilize stubborn fat, make those fat cells release energy more easily, but he notes the evidence isn't totally conclusive.
And side effects.
Can increase anxiety for some people, that's a big one, so he advises caution.
How much and when?
Dosage advice is max 0.2 milligrams per kilogram of body weight, but start lower. He gives an example like 2 5-milligram capsules for an 80-kilogram person, and crucially, take it fasted, like before morning cardio.
But definitely not if you have anxiety issues.
He strongly advises against it then, and again, like all supplements, he frames it as something to support the main pillars: diet, training, sleep. Not magic pills.
Right. They supplement the effort. They don't replace it.
Precisely. So that's the 5 steps in a nutshell.
Okay, let's quickly recap Dr. Mike's 5 steps for this 3-week shred.
Right. 1, a weekly 24-hour fast. 2, an aggressive tracked caloric deficit with high protein, specific macros, and weekly calorie drops.
3, aggressive energy expenditure, 15K steps daily, plus increasing formal cardio sessions.
4, Prioritizing 7 hours of quality sleep and active stress management, like meditation.
And 5, strategic supplementation, multivitamin, caffeine, creatine, and maybe yohimbine HCl, it's appropriate.
That's the framework.
And we have to say it again, this is intense and explicitly short-term.
Absolutely, not a lifestyle plan.
So, thinking about all that, for you listening, what jumps out? Which part seems toughest? Or maybe most doable? It's certainly a detailed look at one very specific approach.
Yeah, it gives you a foundation. Maybe now you're more curious about, say, the science behind fasting or how different macro splits really affect body composition.
Right, you could use this as a launch pad to explore any of those pieces in more detail based on what caught your interest.
And it does make you think, doesn't it? The sheer intensity and precision involved in this kind of rapid transformation.
Yeah. What does that level of dedication tell us? And how does it contrast with building those slower, maybe less dramatic, but truly sustainable health habits for the long run?
Exactly. What's the balance between short-term results and long-term well-being? Definitely something to mull over.